In last lecture, we have studied about the satellite launch vehicle, how it is working, and the space missions away from the Earth. Today, we will see our next point, that is the moon missions. What is meant by the moon missions, and what is the purpose for this moon mission? Since the moon is the closest astronomical object to us, the first space mission to objects in the solar system were the missions to the moon. We know that moon is the only one satellite of the Earth, and it is closest to the Earth. Therefore, their first missions are arranged on the moon. Such missions have so far been executed by the USA, Soviet Union, European countries, China, Japan, and India. The spacecrafts in the Luna series sent by Soviet Union reached near the moon. Luna 2, launched in 1959, was the first such craft. After that, till 1975, 15 spacecrafts made chemical analysis of the moon and also measured its gravity, density, and radiations. Last four crafts even landed on the moon and brought the samples of stones on the moon for analysis in the laboratories. All these missions were unmanned. That means the missions arranged by the Luna series, these are the unmanned missions, and they are arranged for the study of moon. They also obtain samples of stone on the moon for the analysis in the laboratories. America also executed moon missions from 1962 to 1972. The specialty of these missions was that some of these were manned missions. In July 1969, Neil Armstrong became the first human to step on the moon. In 2008, Indian Space Research Organization, that is the ISRO, successfully launched Chandrayaan-1 and placed it into an orbit around the moon. It is sent useful information to Earth for about a year. The most important discovery made during the mission was the presence of water on the moon surface. India was the first country to discover this. That means the India has discovered the presence of water on the moon, and it is the greatest discovery, and the India was the first who discovered this. Then next missions are the Mars missions, the missions on the Mars. Next to the moon, the astronomical object nearest to the Earth is the Mars, and many nations send spacecrafts to the Mars. Mars mission is difficult and almost half, and the missions were unsuccessful. However, ISRO's performance in this mission is remarkable, and we all must be proud of it. The spacecraft Mangalyaan, made by ISRO using minimum expenses, was launched in November 2013 and was placed into the orbit around the Mars in September 2014. It obtained very useful information about the surface of the Mars and the atmosphere around it. Some Indian astronomers which are working in these missions are, the information of them is given here. See, first is the Rakesh Sharma. Rakesh Sharma was the first Indian to travel to the space. He went into the space along with the two Russian astronauts under the joint Indo-USSR space program, and he stayed in the space for 8 days. Next is the Kalpana Chawla. Kalpana Chawla obtained her engineering in aeronautics degree from Punjab, and in 1988 obtained her doctorate from University of Colorado. She was in space for 336 hours during a research mission. While returning to the Earth from space on 1st February 2003, the Columbia spacecraft exploded and Kalpana perished. It is very sad news for Indians. Next is the Sunita Williams. Sunita Williams traveled to the International Space Station in Space Shuttle discovered in 2006. She worked for 29 hours outside the space station. She created a record by staying for 192 days in the space. Then we will see our next point, that is the missions to the other planets. Like Moon and Mars, other planets missions are also arranged for getting information about that planets. Many missions have been executed to study other planets also. In some of these missions, the spacecrafts orbited the planets, some landed on the planets, and some just passed near the planets and observed them. Additionally, spacecrafts have been sent to observe asteroids and comets they have successfully collected some dust and stones from the asteroids, and brought them back to the earth. We are getting very useful information from all these missions, clarifying our concepts about the origin and evolution of the solar system. Thus these missions are very useful for us to getting information about that planets, and some particles from that planets are also obtained for our future study. Our next point is India and space technology. India has also done very remarkable work in space technology. Various types of launch vehicles have been developed to put satellites into having weight about 2,500 kg into all types of the orbits. PSLV and GSLV are the main two important launches. The scientific and technological feats achieved by India in this field have a significant contribution to the national and social development. INSAT and GSAT satellite series is activity working in the field of telecommunication, television broadcasting and meteorological services. Availability of television, telephone and internet services all over the nation has been possible due to these satellites only. EduSat satellite is in this series is used especially in the field of education. IRES satellite series is working for monitoring and management of natural resources and disaster management. To exactly locate position of any place on the earth's surface in terms of its precise latitude and longitude, the IRNSS satellite series have been established. Here they have got information about the satellite launch centers and space research organization. Satellite launch centers are: first is at Thumba in Thiruvananthapuram, second is Sriharikota, and third is the Chandipur in Odisha. And space research organizations are Vikram Sarabhai Space Center, Thiruvananthapuram, Satish Dhawan Space Research Center, Sriharikota, and Space Application Center, Ahmedabad. Here they have give us information about the Vikram Sarabhai. Vikram Sarabhai is considered as the father of the Indian space program. His efforts led to the foundation of Physical Research Laboratory, that is PRL, at Ahmedabad in 1962. Indian government contributed Indian National Committee for Space Research under his chairmanship, and the first satellite launch center was established at Thumba in 1963. The launching of India's first satellite Aryabhatta into the space was the result of his efforts. He played an important role in the establishment of Indian Space Research Organization, that is the ISRO. And the last point from this chapter is the space debris and its management. In addition to the artificial satellites, some other objects are also revolving around the earth. It includes non-functional satellites, parts of the launcher detached during launching, and debris generated due to collision of the satellite with other satellites or any other object in the space. According to one estimation made in 2016, there are about 2 crore pieces of length more than 1 centimeter revolving around the earth, and all this is nothing but the debris in the space. That is the waste material which is present in the space. This debris can be harmful to the artificial satellites. It can collide with these satellites or spacecrafts and damage them. This debris is increasing day by day. Soon it will be difficult to launch the new vehicles or new spacecrafts. It is therefore very essential to manage the debris. Some studies and experiments are being done with this in view. Hope that soon we will have a solution for this problem, and the future satellites and the spacecrafts will not be danger anymore. Thus here we have completed our 10th chapter, that is the space missions. You have to read the whole chapter again and write down the satellite launch centers and space research organizations in your notebook and complete the exercise given below the chapter. Here we will stop today. Thank you.